when you go through a spiritual awakening, one of the things that happens is you start to feel like you are nothing. You move from feeling that you are something, or you may have not even had or ever had a feeling that you are something. You may never have experienced that. Or you move from a place of feeling something, that I amount to something, to actually amount to nothing, that I am nothing, right? Now, when you start off from a place that I am something, to then let go of all those things that make you think that you're something, and then to move from a place of I amount to nothing, to then experiencing that nothingness in your spiritual awakening. These carry different steps, processes, feelings, emotions. The process will be quite different, right? But the result is pretty much the same. The result is always going to be that you're free, right? You're free from any concepts and realizing that you're not the mind. But in between, we've got to get through this, right? Now, when you feel that I amount to nothing, and you've always felt that, right? And if that amounting to nothing comes from an inferiority complex, that comes from a lack of nurturing, or from a genetic makeup, so ancestral karma, right? That is different from when you realize that I am nothing. That feeling, the first feeling of feeling nothing, because of whatever you attach value to, or the estimation of yourself, right? You feel that whatever you've experienced means that you're really nothing, and as a result you turn into a people pleaser. As a result, you're always trying to fit in. As a result, you probably even harbor a little bit of resentment for people who seem to have it all, although they may not, right? So there's all of these things. And when we feel nothing, because we are connected to everything, you will still really find it easy to blend wherever you go, because you don't hold a concept of who you are. So you don't have a concept of I am something, right? That I am so and so. Don't you know who I am? You don't have any of those idiosyncrasies. None of those things feature in you, and you don't have a feeling of I want to prove myself, and you know one day you'll see I'll be so famous, or I'll be so and so and so and so, right? And then you'll see who I really am. None of those things feature for you, right? Because you already know. So you're already operating from I am nothing. And so because you're nothing, you blend, right? Now, those of us who feel that we are nothing because we have an inferiority complex, you will blend not because you are connected to everything, but because you're disconnected from the longing for that connection, right? When we realize that what we're really looking for is that connection, right? And that's what's leading us to blend and therefore not know who we are, right? And perhaps even sometimes compromising on your ideals, your own principles, right? You may have, before a spiritual awakening, led a kind of life that was never really you, because you just blended. You just went with whatever was happening, right? And you just went with it because You wanted to feel accepted. You wanted to feel part of something. To feel part of something, whether it's part of a group, part of a circle, part of a circle of friends, right? But you wanted to feel that you're, and that feeling that I want to be part of a group, a community, a sangha, a satsang, a belief system, a purpose, right? All of this is our deep, innate sense of longing for connection to everything. And the paradox, or rather the irony here, is that that longing is there because we have simply tuned out of the connection which is always on. So that connection hasn't turned off, it's not gone anywhere, right? The connection is there, right? We just haven't tuned ourselves into that, so we can't see that we've always ever been connected. Then there is the person or the self that I amount to something. Now, when we approach something with I amount to something, so now if I amount to something in the material world, it'll be very difficult for you to have any patience to listen to others, or patience for anything and everything that is not of you. So it'll be all about your thoughts, your beliefs, as opposed to anything else. And when you feel that way, right, you feel that I'm onto something, and that will be because you're connected to your bank account, you're connected to your circle of friends, your relationships, to everything outside of you that to you gives you the connection to everything. The thing here though is, despite that, there will still be a hole that cannot be filled. And you will only bear witness to that longing that's there when all this is either taken away, or there is something, or you have a profound experience. And that's what a spiritual awakening does. Now, when the awakening comes and it forces an isolation, forces letting go of all these somethings, then bang, that longing for connection hits, right? That's where then we realize what a hole we've always had. That's when we realize what we've been running away from and trying to fill this longing for connection with everything on the outside, when all that we really needed was to attune to that which we are already connected with, that we are all already connected, right? So there is one longing for connection that comes from you feeling not nurtured, but ultimately that longing too will come again from that longing to connect or be attuned. Because remember, even if your nurturing was normal, it was good, but you will have picked up on a genetic makeup, right? So that's your ancestral karma, and gradually you will work on finding that connection and realizing what it is that you were looking and longing to belong to. Lots of love, happy connections.